In this video, I'm going to be predicting the rest of the 2025 to 2026 NFL season to ultimately see who's going to be the Super Bowl champion. Anyways, if you're new here, consider subscribing, drop a like on this video, and let's get right into it. Alright, it's been a minute since our last video, especially the last prediction video, and as the NFL is, it's unpredictable. The number one seed in the AFC is the Indianapolis Colts. I would have not have predicted that heading into the season, especially in the last prediction video. Some of the other ones, we had, you guys, to be fair, you guys were telling me about the Patriots. I don't know, I was a little bit hesitant on them. I just didn't know. I like Dre May, but I wasn't giving you guys the respect. Patriots fans, I'll give you respects. Also, Seahawks fans, I didn't think that the Seahawks would look this good. I thought their defense was going to be pretty good, but I just didn't know if their offense was going to gel. Anyways, let's get right into the predictions, dude. I know I'm not going to get every single pick right. We have injuries that happen. NFL games are unpredictable. Sometimes a team who's favored to win loses. There's a lot of things that go into this. Let's make some predictions. I know I'm going to make a lot of people mad, so hey, it is what it is. I'm a Bengals fan. If I'm not allowed to have fun, you guys are not allowed to have fun as well. But listen, we're starting off by tonight, Thursday Night Football, New York Jets, New England Patriots. I don't think I'm going to have this video out in time. This game will probably already be played, but most likely I do think it's going to be the New England Patriots taking this one, dude. The Jets, like I predicted before, I thought they were going to be awful, and guess what? They're freaking awful, so at least I got that right. Washington and Miami. Honestly, I don't think Washington is that bad of a team with Marcus Mariota, but they are missing, Scary Terry's been dealing with like an injury all year. Miami had an impressive win versus Buffalo. I'm going to actually give this one to Miami. I think that Washington could, win this game, but I'm going to give it to Miami just because they had a really good win. I think that just brings that momentum just translate over into this game. Then we have Carolina and Atlanta. This one's going to be in Atlanta, bro. The Panthers, they lost against the Saints. Their defense has been playing good. It goes as Rico Dowdle goes, bro. If Rico Dowdle goes off, this Carolina team is probably winning. They beat the Packers. They were able to do it, and I don't know, sometimes Atlanta's just a bit of a weird team, but I'm actually going to go with the home team, Atlanta. Then we have Buffalo and Tampa Bay, dude. Buffalo and Tampa Bay. I liked Tampa Bay, especially this year. They've been dealing with a lot of injuries, dude, and I think that's honestly, Baker Mayfield looked like the MVP at the beginning of the year, but I'm going to give this one to Buffalo. It is at home in Buffalo. Then we have the Chargers and the Jaguars. This one's going to be in Jacksonville. Jacksonville lost a heartbreaker in Houston, dude. They allowed 26 unanswered. Can they bounce back at home? I actually think that they can. Let's go with the Chargers, dude. I know. Maybe I'm picking favorites. It is what it is. Then we have Chicago and Minnesota. I'm thinking that Minnesota gets it done. They lost one against Baltimore at home, but dude, Brian Flores, he's been insane. And somehow with JJ McCarthy, they find ways to win. He doesn't even necessarily have to play good. Last time I remember, though, Chicago and Minnesota, that second half, especially that fourth quarter, JJ McCarthy went crazy. So, I don't know. Maybe that's a trend against the Bears and the Vikings. We'll have to see. Anyways, though, we have the Giants and the Packers. You know what? I think it's Jameis Winston playing for the Giants. They fired Brian Dable, though. I'm going to go with the Packers. Packers are a weird team. I heard somebody say that it's one of those teams that can lose. They could basically lose to anybody any week, and they could beat any team any given week. So I actually thought that was really interesting, and that was very fitting. Because they beat the Lions week 1, and they've lost to the Panthers. They almost lost to the Cardinals. They probably should have lost to the Cardinals, but they didn't. Now we have Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. I heard that Joe Burrow is back at practice. I'll be honest about that. I did hear he's back, but sorry, Joey B. I don't think you can save this sinking ship, man. They got to fire Zach Taylor and fire everybody. Dude, Bengals fans, bro, they tried to trick us that Lou Anarumo was the issue. I love Lou. He's doing good in Indianapolis. I knew I was never blaming Lou, but it's Zach Taylor. It's that front office, bro. We got to go clean slate. Anyways, Houston and Tennessee. Speaking about the Bengals, we had Bryce Callahan get a job. Yeah, as a head coach. We saw how that went. Not good. I could have told you that from a mile away whenever they fired Mike Vrabel. And they hired him. That was terrible. I'm going with Houston. Shit, I don't even know. Does Tennessee even score 10 that game? who knows, bro? Who knows? It is off of a bye, so that's something to watch. Anyways, San Francisco and Arizona. I like San Francisco, but honestly, I'm actually going to go with Arizona here. I know they just got blown out last week. So did San Francisco as well, but they at least fought back a little bit. I am going to go with Arizona because with Jacoby Brissett, I think this team is a little bit better. Plus, they're at home, so I'm going to give them the edge in that one. It's a divisional opponent. We'll see. Oh, this one's a big one right here. Seattle and the Rams. Wow. So Seahawks and Rams. I know Seahawks fans, dude. At the beginning of this video, I just gave you guys a whole bunch of credit. You might hate me because I am going to go with the Rams here. I know. Listen, it's probably annoying to you guys. I think you guys are legit. I'm just going to give it to the Rams in this one. I'm just going to give it to the Rams. Baltimore, you know, Lamar's back and everything. Cleveland, they can't give him fits. I just think with Dylan Gabriel, I cannot take that team legitimately. So, yeah. We're going Baltimore. Get Shedeur Sanders in there. I'm a Shedeur Sanders type of guy. Fuck Dylan Gabriel. I'm kidding. I don't even know why he's catching a stray. It's not even, you know, I don't even know. Just get him out of there. Anyways, we got Kansas City and the Denver Broncos. Dude, I'm actually going to go with Kansas City. The Broncos they're 8-2. I don't know, dude. Sometimes watching him, he looks disgusting. I thought this Bo Nix that we're seeing this year was what we were going to get last year, and honestly, last year he wasn't that bad. That Broncos defense is pretty good, though. Anyways, the Lions and the Eagles. I actually think that the Lions go in there and they beat them. I don't know. I liked Philly, and I remember I had Philly winning the Super Bowl in my last prediction video, but it's a really talented roster still. It's just the offense. I don't know, man. I don't know. It just looks out of sorts. It doesn't look the same as last year. I'm going to go with Detroit. You know, maybe things are a little bit different. Dan Campbell, he's, you know, calling some of the plays. So we'll see. Then we have Dallas and the Raiders. I think this is actually a very winnable game for the Raiders. I think they could do it. They could, but Dallas is coming off a bye. I'm going to give it to Dallas, dude. So now we're going over to week number 12. The Patriots are in the 1 seed, and so are the Rams. So a lot of things have changed. Colts were on a bye, so we'll see what happens here. But we have Buffalo and Houston. In Houston, I honestly think this could be a game where, you know, Buffalo could get stumped again, and I'm actually going to do it. I'm actually going to do it, dude. I don't know. Maybe if Houston could find a run game, they could pull this one off. I think that they could. Anyways, Jets, Ravens. Easy Ravens. Come on now. Ooh, this one's going to be an interesting one. We got the Steelers and the Bears in Chicago. Huh. Wow. That's actually a really interesting game. I got to see how that one plays, dude. I feel like it's going to be kind of one of those ugly games. It's not going to be a clean one. Except I am going to go with Chicago. I'm going to go with Chicago at home. They're going to get it done. I kind of like their little run game that they have going. And I don't know, Caleb Williams, like, especially in the fourth quarter, he just turns into an animal. Patriots, Bengals. I don't trust the Bengals, bro. I don't trust them. I don't take them seriously. We're going to go with the Patriots. Mike Vrabel, he's going to get them to 10-2 right now. He's going to get them to 10-2. Lions and Giants. I don't know. Will Jackson Dart be back? I just think there's too many injuries in New York. I think with Brian Dable out, you know, maybe some things can change, but I think it kind of just goes downhill from here. Minnesota and Green Bay. Again, Green Bay is such an interesting team because they could come out here and just put a whooping on anybody, but I'm actually going to say that Brian Flores, he finds a way to really stump this Packers team and wins in Green Bay. Then we have Indianapolis and Kansas City. Indianapolis is really good. I don't know. I didn't predict this, dude. I didn't think Daniel Jones was that good. I thought there was going to be a little bit of a battle, Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones, throughout the whole year. So I thought the Colts were just going to be... I thought it was a good roster. I just thought they were going to be in dismay the entire year. But I'm actually going to go with Kansas City here. I think Kansas City is going to really sell out and try to make Daniel Jones beat them instead. And it's in Kansas City as well, instead of Jonathan Taylor. If Jonathan Taylor can get going, dude, I think the Colts can win this. But I am going to say that they find a way to slow him down. And do I really think that Daniel Jones can do it? I'm picking the Chiefs. I guess that's my answer right there. Now we have Seattle and Tennessee. Dude, Tennessee, I don't know, man. They could realistically finish the year 1-16. That roster is horrendous. I'm going Seattle. Hey, listen, Seahawks fans, I finally did it. I picked you guys. Jacksonville, Arizona. In Arizona, I know Cardinals get a big dub, but I think Liam Is it Liam Cohen? Yeah, it's Liam Cohen. He actually goes in there and gets a dub. Then we have Cleveland and Vegas. Cleveland and Vegas. I actually think this is going to be a game where Myles Garrett and that defense of Cleveland goes in there and he's just going to wreck it. He's just going to wreck that game, do some crazy stuff. Anyways, we have Dallas and Philadelphia. Dallas and Philadelphia. In Dallas, who wins here? I'm actually going to go... Oh, man, this is a bit of a toss-up to me. I'm not going to lie. I'm going with Dallas. I know. I don't know what it is. I'm just going to go with Dallas. Things are just feeling a little bit weird. Philly drops 2 in a row with me predicting. I know, Philly fans, you guys are going to hate me. It is what it is. These are my predictions, buddy. Anyways, we got Atlanta and New Orleans. In New Orleans, I don't know. I feel like Atlanta has a really talented roster. I don't like Tyler Shuck, though. I'm going with Atlanta. Give me Michael Penix Jr. Tampa Bay and LA. Dude, I don't know. It's such a sad thing. I don't know when Bucky Irving's gonna be back. Chris Godwin's he's out again. Mike Evans is out for the year, dude. I'm going with the Rams. I think whenever Bucky Irving does come back, it could give him a lot of juice, especially on the obviously on the offensive side. I think these are actually it's a brutal part in the Buccaneers schedule as of right now, especially with all those injuries. Carolina and San Francisco. In San Francisco, I'm going with San Francisco. A lot of things are changing, dude. I love doing these prediction videos. I don't know. Do you guys like watching these? I actually just love them for some reason. I like it too whenever you can look over to the right side and the boxes are just changing and everything. These are my favorite. Also, yeah, this website, dude, it's called the Pro Football Network Playoff Predictor. So I know a lot of you guys asked me what I was using to predict the playoffs or to predict the schedule in the videos. And this is the site that I use. Again, Pro Football Network Playoff Predictor. That is it. Anyways, we got a big one right here. Green Bay and Detroit. I'm going with Detroit, dude. Give me the Lions winning that one at home. Then we have Kansas City and Dallas. I knew in my last video that I actually had the Dallas Cowboys winning this one. I don't know. I just thought it was a weird game where they were going to end up pulling this one out. But I do think, well, actually, they made some trades, dude. I think it could be a weird one. I'm actually gonna stick with it, dude. You know what? I made it. It's a pretty ballsy move. I made it in my first prediction video, and I'm gonna do it again here. I'm kind of liking the way that it sounds. I think that defense in Dallas can improve, especially with Quentin Williams and Logan Wilson. Ravens and Cincinnati, dude. Derrick Henry might run for like 200 yards, and Lamar Jackson might add on 100 himself. We might get 300 rushing yards put up against us. That's crazy. But I'm gonna, hey, listen, this might be good. We're 3-9. I love the draft pick. As long as Zach Taylor and the guys are not there, I'm chilling. Philadelphia and Chicago. I think this is gonna be a very hard place in Philadelphia for Chicago to play at. So I'm gonna go Philly. Carolina and the Rams. I'm going with the Rams here. San Francisco and Cleveland. I think that this is actually a really weird game. And I'm gonna go with Cleveland winning this one. I know 49ers fans. This is another Myles Garrett just disrupts that San Francisco offense. Cause don't sleep on it, bro. It was maybe a year or two ago where San Francisco went into Cleveland like week 1 or week 2 and they ended up losing. I think the same thing happens here. Plus that San Francisco defense isn't as good as it was. Obviously injuries. Fred Warner out for the year. Nick Bosa out for the year. So yeah, we'll see. I think that one will be an interesting one. Indianapolis and Houston. I do think that Indy's going to win this one. It's going to be a pretty big game, divisional one. I just don't think Houston has it on offense, bro. And I'm really liking what, Indy's doing, especially it's at home too. So that's going to be a good one. New Orleans and Miami. I didn't really like Miami coming into this year. That big win that they had, though, can Miami win this? I'm actually going to go with New Orleans actually going in there and sneaking one out. I know. Is that weird? Maybe. I'm going to go with Atlanta winning one against the Jets. Dude, Justin Fields has played like 3 games this year, and he's had it all like under... Oh my gosh. I remember he had a game where he threw for, 55 yards, and then he threw for 56 yards after. I started him in fantasy both times, so that's how I remember. And then this last game, he just threw for like 60 4 yards or something. So can he throw for over 70 yards in an NFL game? Arizona and Tampa Bay. I actually think Tampa Bay is going to get back in the win column. So all my Tampa Bay fans, calm down now. Calm down. Jacksonville and Tennessee. This one could be a weird one. This one could be a really, really weird one where Tennessee could squeak this one out, dude. And I think that they actually do. Tennessee's going to squeak that one out. 2 wins on the year. Let's go, Titans fans. Vikings and Seahawks. Wow, what an interesting game. I feel like this is going to be really interesting because Sam Darnold, revenge game against Minnesota. Brian Flores, he might dice up something crazy. But I just think that Seattle, the way that they've been playing, dude, is insane. So I'm going to go ahead and give this one to the Seattle Seahawks. Winning that one. Chargers and Raiders could be a pretty close one. It's a divisional game. You never know. I'm going to go with the Chargers, though. Buffalo and Pittsburgh. I will go with Buffalo winning that one. Washington and Denver. In Washington. Interesting. Really, really interesting. I don't know what's going on with Jaden Daniels. I'm going Marcus Mariota in this one. Then we have the Giants and New England. Give me New England, dude. Winning that one. And wow, we got a lot of things happening, bro. A lot of things happening. That takes us over to week 14. Patriots as the 1 seed. What, is Tom Brady back? No, it's Drake May. The Dallas Cowboys and the Detroit Lions in Detroit, dude. I feel like this is going to be the Lions by a blowout. I feel like they always just cake it on the Cowboys anytime they play each other. Just because of that one. Oh, who was it? I'm blanking on who it was, but he was like a tackle. He reported as eligible, caught a touchdown. I'm having a brain fart. I think he still plays on the team. But yeah, I remember. They're going to kick it on, dude. They're going to kick it on in this one. And Seattle and Atlanta, I'm going with Seattle winning that one. Dude, I saw where Seattle had it was like a little icon during the game. They showed it and it was like the highest first half totals in the NFL this year. And they were like 4 out of the 5 spots there. So this Seattle offense is honestly really impressed me. I didn't think they'd gel together this fastly or just be this good. I don't know. Sam Darnold had one really good year, and he's proven to me that it's not a fluke. And Jackson Smith and Jigba, bro, he's different. Baltimore and Pittsburgh, I do think that this one could be interesting. If TJ Watt can get going, they could really make things interesting. But I'm going to go with Baltimore again, man. Baltimore's climbing, bro. After that horrific start, they're climbing. Cleveland and Tennessee. Oh my goodness, dude. Is Cleveland on a 3-game win streak? What? 3-game win streak? Again, I think this one's won just because of Myles Garrett getting to Cam Ward and just disrupting that game. Anyways, we got Green Bay and Chicago. I got to see this, dude. I got to see if Chicago can really go in there and knock them out. But I'm going to give this one to Green Bay, bro. I'm going to give this one to Green Bay, but if they drop it, I'm not surprised. Indianapolis and Jacksonville. For some reason, the Colts never win in Jacksonville, so that's going to continue. I'm not betting against that. I don't know why. You can look it up. I don't know why, but they never win in Jacksonville. Then we have the Vikings in Washington. Brian Flores is going to scheme up something. I just love how he just plays defense, dude. I don't know. Watching the Vikings defense is... It's crazy. The Jets and Dolphins. This one could be an interesting one, but I'm going to go with Miami, dude. Jets, I feel like one of the worst teams in the league, and they're 2-11 for a reason in this prediction video. New Orleans and Tampa Bay. I feel like this one could be pretty close, but I'm going to go with Tampa Bay. Denver and Vegas. They had a really good one, and low-key, Vegas probably should have won. I'm gonna say that Vegas gets their get back in this one, and they actually win it against the Broncos. I don't know, the Broncos just really, other than the defense, just hasn't really impressed me too much this year. Then we have the Rams and the Cardinals. I'm gonna go with the Rams on the road winning that one. Cincinnati and Buffalo. Oh my, I have not picked Cincinnati to win a game. They could win a game if the defense steps up, throughout the stretch and, can force a couple of turnovers. Hey, Cincinnati has the offense to do it, so we'll see. I don't believe that the defense can stop anything at this point, and I don't think in a close game I'm trusting Zach Taylor, so it is what it is. Houston and Kansas City. I'm going to say Kansas City wins that. Philadelphia and the Chargers. I'm actually going to say that Philly comes in and beats them on the road. They get a big time win and they get back in that win column, baby. Now we're going over to week number 15. Things are really getting serious here. The one seeds stay the same, so we have to continue to see, what will happen in this playoff race. Okay, so I have to do a retake because the screen froze. I don't know why that happens with my OBS sometimes, but we have Atlanta and Tampa Bay. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay winning that one. Cleveland and Chicago, dude. Myles Garrett can't carry them to 4 straight wins, so I'm going to give this one to Chicago. And I feel like this Baltimore Ravens and Cincinnati Bengals game could be really good, like a fun watch. Like a lot of offense, a lot of points. I feel like it could be really good for fantasy, but I'm going to go with the Ravens. I'm not going to be delusional. I'm going with the Ravens. 3-11, that looks really good next to that Cincinnati Bengals logo. I love it, dude. Let's go. Zach Taylor, he's coach of the year, man. Coach of the year. Houston and Arizona. Houston's sitting at 6-7. I'm actually going to go with Arizona on the road, winning a big time matchup against the Texans, dude. Then we have the Jets and Jacksonville. I'm going to go with Jacksonville winning that one, getting back into the win column, getting a little bit of a streak going here. Chargers and Kansas City. Can Kansas City get their get back against the Chargers this time around? I'm going to say no. They dropped 2 in a row, and the Chargers say, hey, we're legit. We're legit in this division. You got to take us seriously, Kansas City. That's what they're saying with this big statement win here. Then we have Buffalo and New England. This could be a big-time win for New England, but I do think that the Bills end up getting their get back. And what could be a really, really close game down to the wire could be a one-possession finish right there. Washington and New York. I don't know. Does Jaden Daniels come back? Is he back around this time? Jackson Dart, I'm going to say Jackson Dart actually wins it at home. I don't know why. He's just going to find a way, dude. It's going to be some crazy stuff. Vegas and Philly, we're going to go with Philly. Green Bay and Denver. Green Bay and Denver. This one could be a really ugly one. I feel like Green Bay should really lean on Josh Jacobs, but I'm actually going to go with Denver in this one. Again, Green Bay's such a weird team to me. The Lions and the Rams in LA, dude. Wow, this is... I think the Lions have been on a little bit of a brutal stretch, I'm not going to lie, and for that reason, I'm going to say that they actually end up dropping this one just because of the gauntlet they've been going through. So just purely off of that, I'm going to go with the Rams. And finally, to end this week, I think it's week 15 out, we have New Orleans and Carolina. Give me Carolina. They get their get back. They're 6-8. Boom, another big time game here in week number 16 for the Rams and the Seahawks. Rams, they don't win this one. Seahawks get their get back. Packers and the Bears. It's in Chicago. This could be a real statement win for not Matt LaFleur, for Ben Johnson and the Bears. And I think that they get it this time at home. I could see that being the score, 15-19. Something weird like that happening. I could definitely see that over there in Chicago if the Bears were winning to win this matchup. Then we have Philly, Washington. Give me Philly on the road. Baltimore, New England. New England drops 2 in a row. And Baltimore gets a big-time dub. Big-time dub there. I just don't know if they're quite ready for the Ravens yet. Tampa Bay and Carolina. If Carolina could get that run game, and again, Carolina's offense, I feel like, just flows through Rico Dowdle. Their defense has been playing pretty good, but I'm going to go with Tampa Bay again. Buffalo, Cleveland. Could be a weird one, but we're going to go with Buffalo. Dallas Cowboys and the Chargers. I almost said the Rams. I saw LA next to it. Almost said the Rams, dude. This one could be a bit of a weird game as well. I don't know. I feel like I'm saying a weird game for all of these. We kind of know what some of these teams are, but I'm actually going to go with Dallas winning that one at home. Big time win. It's kind of keeping them alive in the playoff race. I'm not going to lie. Then we have the Jets, New Orleans. Jets in New Orleans, dude. If Tyrod Taylor is playing by this point, there could be a chance that the Jets win. But if it's still Justin Fields, hey, give me the Saints, dude. Give me the Saints. I say that the Vikings win that one. Kansas City wins that one against the Titans. Arizona and Atlanta. Atlanta gets a big time win on the road. Denver and Jacksonville in Denver. Give me Denver. Pittsburgh and the Lions. We're going to go with the Lions. The Raiders or Houston. I'm going to go with Las Vegas. Give me Las Vegas. Then we have the Bengals versus the Miami Dolphins. Bengals fans, I'm going to give myself some props here, man. I feel like we're going to put up more points than the Miami Dolphins do on us. So I'm going to say the Bengals win this one, dude. Joe Burrow, if he's back and playing by here, Statement win for us. Let's go. Get us to 4 wins on the year. San Francisco and Indianapolis. You know what? Last video, I predicted that Indianapolis was going to win this one. I thought that San Francisco was going to be a little bit better, a little bit healthier. I didn't think that the Colts were going to be as good, but I thought this was going to be a weird Indianapolis Colts win at home. And I'm still going to go with it. You know, it looks even better now because the Colts are legit. 49ers are banged up. That's what I'm saying, man. You can't really predict injuries and how teams are. But yet again, I'm making another prediction video. And I'm probably going to get roasted in the comment section just like last time. But we're on to week 17. We don't care. Leave a comment even if you hate me. Even if you hate my selections, man. Leave a freaking comment. Like the video. I guess if you want to, dislike it. I don't know. I'm trying to give you guys a fair shot. I'm a Bengals fan. It is what it is. Anyways, Cowboys and the Commanders start this week off. And again, I think this is a really confusing year for the Cowboys, and they lose a big one. You know, they were trying to look for that 8th win, but they end up losing that. Lions and the Vikings. The Vikings actually won this one, and it was in Detroit. I think the Vikings sweep them. I know. Isn't that crazy? I think they sweep them. I think that Brian Flores defense really gives them trouble like they did last time. Kansas City and Denver. I think Kansas City wins that one. Kansas City, hey, they're fighting. They're trying to. They're really out here fighting to try to win that division that they're in. Seahawks, Carolina. We're going with the Seattle Seahawks. Wow, Arizona or Cincinnati, dude. Arizona or Cincinnati in Cincy. Yeah, wouldn't this be something of the Bengals? You know, I'm hoping that I lose all hope for the year. Hope that we lose out, and then we start winning. I don't know what happens. We just start winning an unnecessary amount of games whenever everything feels like it's all gone. All hope feels gone. Hey, listen, you know how I said that the Packers were a weird team? They could lose to anybody and they could beat anybody? Well, hey, at home, they beat the red-hot Baltimore Ravens. They do that. Houston and LA. In LA. Give me the Chargers, man. Give me the freaking Chargers. And then we have the Giants and the Raiders. They're going into Vegas. I'm going to say that the Giants win that one, dude. I really like what Jackson Dart's been doing, man. I really do. Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Dude, Pittsburgh's been on I don't even think I've had them win a game yet. But they're going to win that one. They're going to win that one. They'll win it. Calm down. Indianapolis going to get their get back as well. Indy's going to get their get back. So we'll have them beating the Jaguars. And week 18, big time stuff could happen here. A lot could change. Looking at, you know, the playoff picture for week 18. The 1 seed in the AFC, the Colts. The 1 seed in the NFC, the Rams. Does that stay the same? Let's continue predicting. And then we're going to take a look at all these teams' records. Then we're going to predict, obviously, the playoffs. And see who's our Super Bowl champion. New Orleans and Atlanta in Atlanta. Let's go with Atlanta. Finishing strong. 8-8. Let's go. W Atlanta. Now, the Bills and the Jets. Give me the Bills winning that one. Lions, Chicago. This could be a really, really big one for Chicago. But I do think that they end up falling to the Lions. Even at home, man. Even at home. Cleveland and Cincinnati. I think that Cincinnati sneaks out a dub. Wow, they really finished at 6-11. I had them, what, at 3-11? Tough, dude. Tough. 3-game win streak to end the year. Chargers. Oh, Chargers and Broncos in Denver. Whew. Chargers and Broncos. This one's a big time matchup. I'm gonna take who I think is all around the better team. I'm gonna go with the Chargers. I think Jim Harbaugh just goes in there. They know that they really need this game, and they go in there and win that one. Houston and Indy in Houston. I do think that Indy wins that. Tennessee, Jacksonville. Jacksonville wins that one at home. In Duval, Arizona. Arizona goes on the road. They play the Rams. Could give the Rams some fits. Again, divisional opponent. You never know what happens. I'm going to go with the Rams, though. Raiders and Chiefs. Let's go with the Chiefs. Green Bay. Green Bay, dude. In a big-time game against a division foe. And the Vikings. Vikings have a chance to completely knock them out the playoffs. You know, they made the trade for Micah Parsons. Can Micah Parsons stand up? Can they win it in Minneapolis, Minnesota? They do. Oh my goodness, they do. They end up winning that one. Green Bay. on the road. A big time win for them. Big time. Maybe Josh Jacobs gets going right there in that game. Maybe they get going. Then we have the Miami Dolphins, New England Patriots. Miami could be fighting. They could get a little sneaky hot here at the end of the year, I think, with Achane. And I think that they're actually going to win that. I'm going to go with them winning that one. You know, this is still a young New England team. Maybe they let their guard down before the playoffs start. I'm going to go where? I'm going to go there. Cowboys and the Giants. It's going to be in New York, but I'm going to go with the Cowboys. Philadelphia, Washington, Philly. Give me that one. Whew. This one's big. This one is big. Oh my goodness. This one is huge. Baltimore and Pittsburgh. I'm going to go with Baltimore, actually. You know, Baltimore's going to sweep them this time. Seattle and San Francisco. Oh my goodness. Seattle and San Francisco, dude. Again, could be a big time matchup. And I'm actually going to go with San Francisco here on the or at home, getting that one. Carolina, Tampa Bay. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay. Oh my goodness. Dude, I was looking at why some of these like team records weren't that good. And in week number 17, wow, that's embarrassing. I missed out on all of these games. Okay, so, well, hold on. Things change a little bit. I'm going to go and predict these ones right here. This is going to be interesting, but I'm going to go with Tampa Bay right there. Oh, New England and the Jets. This one doesn't really matter. The Titans or the Saints. I'm going to go with the Saints winning that one on the road. Wow, actually, this is a big one because we got Philadelphia and Buffalo. Philly and Buffalo. This one's going to be in Buffalo. However, I think Philadelphia goes in there and they somehow just knock them off. They end up doing it. Chicago and San Francisco. In San Francisco. Give me San Francisco winning that one. The Rams versus the Falcons. Dude, I think that the Rams are a really legit team this year, and I think the Rams are actually going 14-3. Okay, hold on. I just recorded something. We're going to scrap that. Wow, because I forgot some more games. And this one is in week 15. I'm forgetting these games at the bottom. I don't know. I thought I scrolled down, but they didn't scroll anymore, so I don't know, man. This is kind of getting annoying now. But we do have some big-time matchups here. Indianapolis and Seattle. In Seattle, I'm going with Seattle, actually, winning that one. 13 wins. Now, San Francisco, Tennessee, going with San Francisco. Oh, Minnesota and Dallas. In Dallas. Could be a big-time matchup. But I'm going to go with Minnesota winning that one. Miami and Pittsburgh. Hey, let's go Pittsburgh, dude. Let's go freaking Pittsburgh. In the AFC, we have the number 1 seed being the Chargers. 2 Colts, 3 Buffalo. 4 we have the Ravens. 5th seed, wow, we have the New England Patriots at 12-5. 6th seed, the Chiefs. And 7th seed, the Broncos. Over in the NFC, though, at the 1 seed, we have the Rams, 2 seed, Eagles, 3 seed, Lion, 4 seeds being the Buccaneers, the 5th seed being Seattle, 6th seed being San Francisco finds their way in. That's really interesting, especially with all of those injuries, dude. Coming in at 10-7, that's a big win for these 49ers fans. Anyways, we have the final one wrapping it up, the 7th seed Minnesota Vikings. And here's the divisional standings right here. I don't know if you guys want to go ahead and pause the video, look through them, because this is going to be it. Really interesting how things shook up in this prediction video. I know I'm probably not going to get this 100% right. Hey, it is what it is. It's a prediction video, dude. Let me hear about it and let me know what you guys think. But we got the playoffs to predict. We have the playoffs. It is playoff time. All right. Indianapolis and the Denver Broncos. Okay, we're starting things off in the AFC. I'm going to go with Indy winning that one. And then we have the Bills taking on the Chiefs. Oh my goodness. That's going to be a big time one, but I think I got to do it, dude. I'm sorry, Buffalo fans. I'm going to go with the Chiefs, man. I just can't count them out in the playoffs, dude. I don't know what it is. And then we have the New England Patriots going up against the Baltimore Ravens. I do think it's really impressive what this New England Patriots team did to get into the playoffs. Kind of sucked that they got the 5th seed, but we will be going with the Baltimore Ravens. Then we're heading over to the NFC matchups. This is actually going to be a tough draw, I feel like, for the Philadelphia Eagles. It will be in Philly. I think this is going to be a bit of a grudge match. I'm not going to lie. I think the Eagles are going to be in a bit of a scare against the Vikings. But they will ultimately, I feel like, at the end, pick things up and find a way to win that game. San Francisco and the Detroit Lions could be sneaky for like a little bit, but I think that the Lions actually get their revenge and they beat San Francisco. Now, right here, I am going to go with Seattle. I'm sorry, Tampa Bay, but you guys just missing Mike Evans, maybe even missing Chris Godwin for the rest of the year. Things are pretty impressive. If MVP Baker Mayfield comes back, you guys could definitely go on a run, but I do think that the injuries really catch up to him and they feel it here in the playoffs. Big time things are happening right. These are going to be tough decisions, dude. Really, really tough decisions. I have the Kansas City Chiefs going up against the Chargers. The Chargers, man. Are they legit? Are they freaking legitimate, dude? They are missing both of their tackles, though. I think that's a big thing, and for that reason, I'm going again. I know I don't like Kansas City, but I'm going with Kansas City on the road. They get a big time win. And Baltimore, Indianapolis. I love the Baltimore story, or the Indianapolis story. I would love it if they were to go all the way, but I do think that Daniel Jones is just, I don't know what it is, dude. He's going to be the reason. They're going to, the Ravens are going to take everything away. They're going to try to put it in Daniel Jones' hands. They're going to be like, Daniel Jones, you got to beat us. And Daniel Jones, I just personally don't think he's going to make he's just not going to be able to make the big throws. Then we have Seattle and the Rams. Big time. I'm going with the Rams, dude. The Rams are going to win that one. Seattle could win, though. Seattle could win, but is it Sam Darnold or Is it Sam Darnold or Matthew Stafford? I'm going with Matthew Stafford. Lions going in to Philadelphia. I'm going with the Lions on the road. I think the Lions get a big time legitimate win right there. And then Kansas City or Baltimore. Can Baltimore rewrite their wrongs? Or can Kansas City go back to another Super Bowl? Can they really do it? Dude, I think we're witnessing greatness. Patrick Mahomes, I know it hurts. I know. But until I can see somebody else prove me wrong, I'm actually going to switch. I'm going with Kansas City. I know it sucks, dude. It legit sucks. And this game right here, it is a toss-up. It really is a toss-up, dude. I don't know. Both these teams are legit. I think that Dan Campbell, they get in there. They get in there. So then we get left with this. The Chiefs versus the Lions. I know. I'm probably going to get destroyed in the comment section. But a storybook ending for Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, Patrick Mahomes doesn't happen. Because, I'm sorry, but fairy tales don't always have storybook endings. And the Detroit Lions, they go. Dan Campbell and the guys. They go and they prove everyone wrong. Listen, they lost both their coordinators. They go in here and they win it. I love this Lions team. I love what they're doing. They're going to win the Super Bowl. That's my prediction. Listen, that's going to do it for this video, dude. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Let me know if you liked the video, if you disliked it. Drop a comment, drop a like, subscribe. Maybe we can do one of these prediction videos for the playoffs. Anyways, though, I'll leave it at that. And I'll get out of here. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Yeet.